Hi ladies, how are you? Thanks for joining the platform. I'm really happy to be here. This is a very free flow live. I decided my eye's been twitching. I don't know if this is something that happens to you, but I know that whenever I feel my eye twitching, it means that I need to be paying attention. So I'm paying attention right now, and I know that I need to be joining. So whether this message is for for a large group of you, whether it's for me, that needs to be, maybe it's a message that needs to be integrated and then eventually shared more extensively later. I'm not sure. So anyway, welcome. And it's a beautiful day over here in New Zealand. It's about 1:04 in Auckland City. I know that a lot of you are actually sleeping on the other side of the world. I'm just happy to be here and just to be connecting with you heart to heart. The message that came through today was everything we feel we're actually attracting. And I had a conversation with a girlfriend of mine yesterday about how fast things tend to manifest as we sit down and we get together and just start having a conversation. And my friend's not very open. She's quite the opposite of what I am. I tend to be like really expressive when it comes to feelings, and when I feel very deep. But it's quite interesting how we had a conversation about the things, asking questions and conversing. And what came through was we were just having a conversation about what is really important in our life and what really needs to be cut out, like what is no longer serving us. We had a serious conversation, and interestingly enough, about 2 days after, she got a phone call and it literally answered. It did the work for her. And she's like, Vanessa, is this do you think this is a coincidence? And I started laughing and I was like, no, it's not a coincidence at all. And it just kind of, in that moment, I just, my body just lit up and my eyes lit up and everything just lit up. And it was like a reminder of how in tune, we don't realize the power that we have. We are so in tune. When we are so in tune with what it is that we want, that's why voicing and expression is so important, right? So when you are allowing yourself to come from a space of real stillness and reflection, and trusting someone enough to actually really open up and speak to yourself about it first, and then share that with the people that you trust. That creates that allows change or transformation or whatever needs to happen to actually happen. And I see it around me all the time. I see it with myself as well. It's with the little things. So I just wanted to invite you today to ask yourself, as you are considering this note, this affirmation of how everything that we feel we are attracting, I just want to invite you to ask yourself, to just kind of be really conscious, if you can just stop for a minute and really be conscious about what feelings are going into your body, what feelings are going into your system. What are you feeling? I notice myself when there's something happening around the home environment, I pick up on the energy before it even happens. It's crazy. So sometimes our gifts can work against us in certain instances, but you've always, obviously, shift in perception. You've always got to see, the message behind it. That's what I do. So, and, I notice that I'm never wrong. Your gut is never wrong. So I just want to invite you today to really tune into what it is that you're feeling. And I notice when something is not mine, because I notice that these thoughts and there's a speed of breath that is not normal, which is not my own, or it's not my natural state. So I'm okay, I know that there's something external that is really, trying to affect me or, bothering that is not mine. So that's how I know that change has to happen. Change is bound to happen. Change is happening. Okay. And a lot of people may say, I don't like change. Change is kind of like changing your state and not accepting where you're at. No, change means, in this instance, for me, this change is allowing whatever needs to come through and to come to you and through you, right? To happen, for whatever needs to happen through you. So in order for all of this to happen, ladies, we have to be very, very honest with ourselves. And I can't stress this enough. Now, you might say, how do I know? How am I to be, like, how do I know? How do I identify that I'm being truthful to myself? To be truthful to yourself, it's kind of like when you meet someone, right? You meet someone, it takes time, you need time, okay? Sometimes, obviously, the feelings are like instinctual, like, okay, so you know on a physical level, on a gut level, whether someone, you know, whether you like someone or not. But to answer the question of how do I know where my truth is or what my truth is, it's important to like actually dedicate time, devote time to yourself and listen. And you might say, listen to what? I do listen, but it, you know, every time I've listened to that voice, it's always gotten me into trouble. So that can be something as well that a lot of people are kind of, you know, facing. And the answer to that is really identifying the mind voice, the mental voice, and the inner voice. So the inner voice is a whisper. It's very soft. It's talking to you. It's like firm. It's there. It's like there's no if and buts. It's like it's non-negotiable because it's like it's just still, right? Whereas the thought that comes, the voice that comes from the mind is like spinning, and it's clustering over, you know, every thought is clustering over each other. It's like racing, it's going from one thought to the other, so it's like in constant motion, and it's causing like breath to speed up, and it's you know, it's like an anxiety, and it, you know, that's you know how you can identify, you know, truth is when you listen to that voice up here. It's like, what are you feeling? If you're not feeling good, you know the difference between what feels good and what doesn't feel good, don't you? Like, don't we know that? Oh great, just 1 second, my battery's like gonna die. So we know we know the thoughts that are causing us actually inner distress, and thoughts that are causing peace or like quiet, where we get that feeling of, oh, you know, that feels, you know, that feels good, you know, that feels good. Just 1 second. There we go. Sorry for that. So I just really invite you to have a think about that, because you don't realize what's going on. Excuse the close in the background. So why am I bringing this up today? I'm bringing this up because, why am I bringing this up? Because when we are stuck, or when we are kind of like in a space where we know that we need to be doing something different, if we're not tuning into that voice, then that's how change is not happening, okay? That's why, you know, you're not attracting, or, you know, the life that you want, the, you know, the things that you want to be doing is not happening. It's because we're not listening, we're not tuned in, but also trusting and believing that this is why it's important to, you know, to really feel into what we are feeling, like knowing what, identifying the feelings, and remaining open, right? Remaining open. When you are, in order to bring things to you, you need to be vibrating that feeling internally first. So whatever kind of resistance or doubt is coming in, it's gone. It's like energetically, whatever you are kind of like co-creating, wanting to manifest, it's gone, it's going. And it just takes a thought to like push it away. And I notice like how fast things are actually, you know, happening and coming in the moment that I feel and that I know that it's, you know, that is my purpose. That's, you know, the reason why I'm here. Now, what can you do? What can you do to practice this inner voice? What can you do? It requires dedicating that time to trusting yourself. If you want to know, because you know, a lot of people may say, oh, you know, you talk a lot and you share a lot about what you do. Of course I do, because it's through my own experience and my learnings. Like the stuff that I do, that I teach, is actually real. Like with a voice that I'm using, what I'm expressing, it's actually based on my own journey and what I see and what, you know, works for me. So I'm sharing it with you, and then I always encourage you to listen to your voice. I'm just showing you that it's possible when you trust in yourself, right? So I was saying before, I do many things that helps me to like reconnect with myself. I do a number of things, and I've allowed myself to experiment this for, you know, for a number of years, I have to say. So, you know, I'll be lying if I just say, you know, it's just one thing. It's just, you know, through journaling, or no, it's actually through a lot of things. So first of all, we need to discover. I had a conversation with a girlfriend the other day, and it's like, well, I was sharing with her the things that I like to do that helps me to connect, but she didn't know what she liked. She didn't know what she wanted to do. And it's always really good to like explore, even if you don't know, just try it and then see how it feels. But it's kind of like that's like the resistance, and it's the fear of like connecting, I think, with your truth, like, right? Because that's when you embark, that's when you start that's when you get deeper, and resistance will come up, fear will come up. But the important thing is that you are in conviction, like you know why you are wanting to do this, why you're wanting this to happen, and that will kind of push through. I know that when I've done things in conviction, with that thought and belief and knowing that, you know, my life depended on this, then I would do everything. I would go all in with anything that I'm doing. So there's a list of things that I could say that I use to help to connect with myself into my inner voice. But a recent one that I've discovered was an audio. So the audio, I just pick up the audio and I just allow, I just speak through the audio, and I connect to my vision, and I connect to my emotions, and I just let it roll. I just let it come out, let it come through. So that's one thing that you could do. If it works for you, if communication works for you. But really anything, it's like these moments, like now I'm connected with myself, and I know that when I'm twitching, like when my eye's twitching, it's like, Vanessa, get a move on, like you know that there's something that's going to be coming up. So I do what I can to just be in that moment, and then to kind of allow it to come through me. So a lot of it, it's like a dance. So you need to know when to slow down, when to speed up, when to like go in between, when to be on your own, like when to pick up the phone or when to pick up a pen. So there's not just one set way. And I feel really deep, like I think that, you know, in today's age, it's so easy for people to just be stuck in a routine and just be stuck in a certain way of doing things, right? So all these beautiful, amazing, imaginative things that can come to you for you to express, they may be suppressed because you're too focused on the to-do list. Does that make sense? So it's important that we allow ourselves to like let go. Even if you have responsibilities, we all have responsibilities, right? But even with our responsibilities, we can just switch the state in which we are like actually operating from. So people that have followed me for a while, you know who I am. So Vanessa Mariano, and I'm a healing activator, okay? So I'm all about, I support women, entrepreneurial women, female leaders to break away addictive patterns, limiting beliefs, physical ailments, family dramas, entanglements, and to help you to really come back into your body, to be really present. So you will move from a state of like just being really stuck, stagnant. If you're feeling repressed, if you are suppressing your needs, I can help you to move into a state where you are operating from your heart, where you are courageous from heart. So I feel this is something that I preach about, and you know, preaching, sorry for the people that don't like to be preached at, but I feel that, you know, that when I do the videos and when I do teach, it does kind of come across like that. And so just bear with me. But I'm just really passionate about what it is that I share, and it's not to self-loathe. It's actually because I'm owning, you know, who I am, and I'm owning my the trajectory. I'm owning like my path, my awakenings, my growth, and the things that light me up and the things that I'm passionate about. It's actually a good thing that women talk about themselves and share from their heart. Whereas in society until now, it's always been looked down. It's always been, you know, they would always look down to you if you do feel confident about yourself, if you do feel beautiful about yourself. So when you say, when you receive compliments with a, you know, big thank you and with a big smile, and when you are receiving, it's a beautiful sign, because you are showing yourself that you love yourself. And that's beautiful, because that will only replicate and multiply externally, right? So when you have that feeling, when you are feeling good about yourself, you are operating from a, you're not running on empty, and you are serving from a fuller cup. So it's a good thing. I just wanted to mention that. So if people are repressing their needs, then they are not feeling worthy of, you know, showing who they are and sharing, you know, who they are and stating what they want. Because, you know, for example, like people like me, someone like me, you know, relationships that I've been in the past, that would make me feel wrong for expressing what I wanted, even, you know, growing up. But that's just the conditioning of society, the patriarchal society. So as you know by now, my teachings are very unorthodox, and everything I bring forward is very raw. It's everything that I feel and tune into, what I know can somehow spark something in you. Then you can use that and do what you please with it, okay? So when you are operating from a space of, from your heart, and you are automatically like tuning into the vibration of being courageous. Now, if you want to move forward, it's essential, it is required of you to recalibrate your thoughts and your way of thinking and the way that you are seeing yourself. As I am moving forward, I see myself where I'm kind of like in that pain body that is bringing me to like experience an emotion that I had on the past and that I operated from, and it feels icky. Feels icky, but the wonderful thing is when you build consciousness and awareness, and as I said, you can do that by dedicating and devoting time to yourself with certain practices, with meditation. Meditation is has been life-changing for me. And then you can just switch it. So you can, you know, you can play with that. You know, you can actually play with that kind of energy. So if you want to know more about how you can operate from a space of empowerment and move and clear your path with all the gunk and all the crap that is not really serving you, that's how you operated in the past. It's not how you need to operate now. You know, own who you are, own what it is that you want, own your dreams. You know, allow yourself to dream bigger. The bigger the better. And just live every day and embody those emotions. If negative, or if anything does come up, know that it's something that has to be worked through, either from you or from, you know, people around you that are kind of like triggering something in you. So I'm all about self-help and having soulful conversations, because it's through the soulful conversations that it kind of awakens things in you. But then again, it's like also important to take action on that. And believe me, when you've got good people that will listen to you, that will hold space for you, that see you, that believe in you, that love you, wow, you know, it's like horizons open, everything seems possible, and everything that you wanted to be, or that you want to be, that you lived to, you know, to live, it's going to be your reality. And this is not just some, you know, talk, motivational talk to just kind of help you to feel good or anything like that. This is real. So I just wanted to thank you. I appreciate you ladies so much for being part of my group and for following the things that I share. There is no system in place, as you've seen, and I know that I'm going to be keeping it like this for a bit. And I wanted to update you about, you know, what's going on. I feel in the collective what's going on inside of me, and what I notice is happening, what people, especially, you know, what women are really like stuck in. And what I'm seeing is that there's just so much deep desire and like want of like needing to like burst out of their bubble. and express and show the world who they are, right? It doesn't mean you have to be on public, you know, social media to show who you are, but even just like the way that you show up to your family and friends, and just the way that you are with yourself. But there's so many conflicting thoughts that sort of come in, and okay, it's just you know, it's not only thoughts, but it's also like those thoughts turn into feelings. And then when they turn into feelings, that's when you become trapped, because the shame starts to come up, the guilt starts to come up. And it's like, no, you know, being guilt-free of, you know, enjoying the pleasures of life is what I want to, it's the kind of movement that I want to create with women. Because why do we need to feel guilty? Like, why do you need to feel guilty for not wanting to hang out with someone? Because you know that they are so filled with, there's just so much negativity that you know you're going to have to bear by being there and listening to him or her. So why do you want to put yourself through that? And why do you have to feel guilty if you are unwilling to like accept that as, you know, a standard that you want to place for yourself? So ladies, this platform is all about being open, being honest with ourselves, about learning about ourselves, about our thoughts, our feelings, and how we can recalibrate everything so that we can become the truest expression of who we are, which is our essence. It's remembering who we are. So I'm going to finalize the video now because it's already been 21 minutes. I just wanted you to know that the time that I haven't been on video, I've taken the time to really go within. I've taken time away from social media, but I'm always, you know, connected to my mission, my purpose. So, you know, that's what I live for. So I know that whenever I do come on, it's because there's something important to share. And something that came to me was to continue to write my book. The book that is going to be based on, it's a bio, it's an autobiography, but then it's also going to be incorporated, what's going to be incorporated is actually self-help, self-development, exercises. There's going to be, you know, throughout my bio, there's going to be exercises and things that I've actually, that's going to be part of my teachings, and it's what what I've been devoted to do, that's helped me to get on path with my health, with abundance, with wellness, and with real clarity and like complete passion, and allowing myself to play and to have fun along the journey as that is unfolding. So it's very real. It's very real. It's nothing about, I know a lot of people that do create things, they create them because, you know, it's a public, it's what they want and it's what they want to hear. But this is all really just about my own autobiography, and it's genuinely sharing about everything that I was and everything that I became and everything I returned to being. And I'm still thinking about the title of the book, but what's coming to me is, do you have a plan for me? Because I never understood what my plan was. I never understood who I was. I never understood what the heck I was meant to do, what I was meant for. I knew what I loved, but I always knew that everything was just so separate from me. You know, talking about the initial phase of, you know, when illness was there, and when I was like in the vortex of like pain, right? But throughout the book, I just kind of unfold and I touch on really important phases of my life. And it's like a real emotional journey for me, because it's through the emotions. I was searching for my emotions, right? I was searching for what I was feeling and what I needed to kind of dig deep into. So that's what the book is going to be unfolding. It's going to be unfolding, you know, the journey of that and what I needed to do to feel again, you know, to connect to me again. Outside of the constructs of what people made me out to be or accused me of being, or society, what they expected of me. Okay, so just I just wanted to share that with you. So and also as an encouragement, you know, like if there's anything that you've kind of left off and that you you know, that you are called to kind of start again, to pick up, then, you know, don't let anything stop you from doing that. Okay, so if you do want deeper guidance, connect with me, Vanessa Mariano, as me. That is a that's a link that I'm going to be putting on the side. So you can go, what I can do actually is I'll put the link to my webpage and you can book a call with me straight away unless you want to have a one-on-one healing session straight away. Okay, so we can just kind of book that in. Otherwise, let's just get together and have a chat and see where we are, see whether I'll call me only if you do feel that my energy resonates with you. And obviously, if you know and feel that there is a good cause for you to get in contact with me. Okay, so remember, ever since I've like tied my actions to like an intention or a cause, it's helped me to feel like, you know, there's purpose in like everything that I'm doing, right? Sometimes we do things because we're unaware, but it's just, that's why it's so good to like tune in, be conscious of thoughts as well, right? So this is a realm that I'm like, that I specialize in, that I'm an expert in, that I'm a professional at, because I've devoted my whole life into grasping and mastering, myself, self-mastery, inner self-mastery. So if you want that, if you want to get on that path, if you know that you are sick of just wasting your time and doing the same old crappy thing every day, get in contact with me. Start believing that it's possible for yourself first, because otherwise you're not going to get past a phone call with me. So you've got to start to awaken that feeling within, and then allow yourself to go with the wave. And I believe that the universe, God, source, I believe they have a bigger plan for me. So this is why I had to learn to not just get stuck into the thought of what I needed to do, but rather what was meant for me. Okay, what needs to come through from me. Okay, so just good questions to keep to just kind of tune in with. Okay, so sending you so much love, and I hope that the video has resonated. Feel free to write any comments, and comment #live or #replay if you've watched either the live or the replay. And it helps me to see who was in here, like who's following, who needs the work. I don't want to say need, because need kind of comes from, no, well, you can, whoever wants, whoever's attracted to, these sort of conversations and this kind of work. And my desire is to know, or to know how I can best serve you as well, and what kind of experiences I can share with you that I know will benefit you as well. Okay, so remember, it's all about being together. It's not about competing. Remember, I'm all about the feminine energy, all about femininity, folding into the feminine, folding into the now, all about, breaking away from those thoughts of competition, thinking that we are not good enough, that we need to compare ourselves, because that only feeds on the separateness, right? It doesn't feed on unity. And this platform is all about being united. It's all about being together. So start to share things that come up for you. You may not be familiar with what it means to share and to open up. I know it's very confronting. It takes a lot of courage. But share things like, even something, say if you wrote a postcard or something like that, and that's something that you're really proud about, why don't you share that in the group? Because remember, the group is all about supporting one another and cheering one another, cheering each other on, so that we are more drawn to doing things that we love and that we enjoy, right? So it's daunting to share your own personal things. I understand that. But just know that it's a safe space here, and it's only going to replicate that energy, okay? All right. It's going to replicate it like instantly within you, in your life. It's amazing. So if you're not opening up to the group, if you're not opening up to the sharing, if you need more guidelines, just ask me, and I will make it more clear. But remember, when you are sharing in a group where there's a very clear intention set, know that the energy is going to be just exponentially multiplied in your life, and you're going to be seeing things like straight away. I know how my energy works, so I know the impact that it has with other people. I know the kind of energy, how my thoughts impact in my life as well. So that's why I've got to be really careful. I've got to be very tuned into like how negative, whatever I'm picking up that is not mine, or whatever thought is coming up that is negative, which is a form of like you know, whatever emotion needs to, or situation needs to be sort of like worked through and released. Okay, because you want to release everything that is not supporting your path. That's the idea. Okay, so just be prepared. I just wanted to share with you. So there is a book that I'm writing, and my teaching is going to be based on the book, and therefore the platform that I have, the membership platform, is going to be accessible to everyone that wants to get on this journey, that wants to learn about self-love, self-care, that wants to learn about tuning into their own inner voice and developing their own way. I'm sick and tired of seeing these gurus that come out and write about things about, hey, there's only one way to do this one thing. So this is all about us tuning into our own power and feeling empowered. It's not about following other people's, you know, story or other people's way. This is about you discovering your own way. So if you do want to be part of the membership, put your name down in the comment. It is in construction. But remember that the membership is going to be accessible to everyone. Okay, so you're going to be learning about your energetic channels. So this is going to be accessible. The price is going to be very affordable so that anybody can. And then you can start, you can start to apply everything that you learn every day, and you will open up more and more and more and more so that, so ultimately it's to live in freedom, to live joyfully, fulfilled, and always being surrounded and operating from a space of love. Okay, all right. So much love is being sent to you right now, and I look forward to our next connection. Sending you lots and lots of good vibes, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.